Yo, what's going on, man? Today is November the 28th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. I feel like I'm off a little bit, off center a little bit for some reason. The ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. I'm live on Twitter. I'm also live on YouTube as well right now. We got a beautiful, I think a pretty beautiful NBA in-season slate tournament for tonight. We got a couple games to get into. Hopefully we can find some winners. I know that I keep starting the let me go ahead and address the $10 to 10K challenge. 0 for 2 on day one. Don't seem like I'm gonna get there, but if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm not really worried about losing a couple days. I'd rather get the losses out the way early than to do it late. So it is what it is. We lost on Braun the first day. Yesterday we took two favorites and neither one of them won. So I put the year of the dog hoodie on because it does feel like yesterday was, a day of dogs yesterday. All the dogs ended up cashing yesterday outside of the Philadelphia 76ers, who blew my Los Angeles Lakers out the water. So, like I said, we're going to jump right into it. I did, however, regardless of that, I did go 4-2 yesterday. The $10 to 10K challenge, it's $10. I'm not extremely worried about that, but every time I give out a play, of course, I want it to be a winner. So it is a tad bit frustrating that, the straights are cashing at a pretty good rate. So 4-2 yesterday. I ended up, after the show, I added Kyle Kuzma for my members, 22.5 and 25. He had a big third quarter and finished, I think, with 30 plus. And then I also added Jalen Duren over his 11.5 rebounds. The line didn't become available until after the show. And I was telling you guys how much I liked that one yesterday during the show. He cashed that pretty easy. I think he had 14. So yeah, those cashed. The Pelicans looked like trash yesterday. Two lessons I learned yesterday. One is never bet on the Clippers when they're playing against the Denver Nuggets. I don't care who's in. I don't care who's out, because I told you guys yesterday I've seen the same story before. I just thought the Clippers would be ready for him yesterday. Paul George. You know what? We're not gonna talk about it. And then the other lesson was I'm not. And for people, I mean, I can write this down, put it in your memory notebook or whatever. I'm not fading the Utah Jazz as a home dog anymore. They took my money twice this season. I went in and looked at the numbers. They're one of the best home dog teams in the league, dating back to last season. So, and I was thinking back when I was looking at it, like, man, this team covered twice against the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Like, why would I fade him? I guess because I thought Lauri Markkanen was going to have not having Lauri Markkanen was going to have a huge impact. But watch that game from beginning to end, and Utah was the Pelicans were just a step too slow on all their rotations. Fontecchio out there killing them. Keontae George out there killing them. Walker Kessler out there looking like Walt looking like Wilt Chamberlain. So yeah, I'm done fading them. Those were the two lessons of the day. So you guys got some early lessons as well. But like I said, regardless, we did go 4-2 yesterday and made a unit, 1.13 units yesterday, which brings the season total to 35.15 units. And another positive day, man. So hopefully we can kind of keep that going today. I do have 4 plays that I've locked in already and a couple that I have on my short list that I just haven't pulled the trigger on yet. Of course, there is some injury news and some injury implications that do affect the rest of the slate for today. So before I continue, I want to make sure that I put that. I like to post that stuff in the chat if I can. So, and I see Ali say something about a stars will be stars parlay. So maybe we can get that as well. I just want to drop this in the chat real quick and try to give people an update that don't have a chance to, see what's going on with the NBA throughout the day. Hopefully most of you guys are locked in, but it's really, really difficult when you have this much injury implication every single day. So 2 hours ago, Underdog posted, and I just put it in the Twitter spaces. So if you guys are watching on YouTube and you want to join on Twitter, go right ahead and head over, and vice versa, of course, as well. But we still have Drew Holiday questionable, Zach LaVine listed as questionable, Chris Middleton, Derek Lively, all listed as questionable, Bam Adebayo, Derek White, and Cam Johnson are all listed as probable, and look like those guys will return after missing last game. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into the slate for today. First game up I have is the Bulls and the Celtics, and I'm gonna try to keep these breakdowns pretty short. I'm gonna try not to give out too much, especially if I don't have a play on the game. I like sharing my notes with you guys. I do tons of research, of course, and I like to give you guys what I'm looking at, but I'm not going to beat a dead horse with these games. So this game actually opened. Let me just get to the screen. This game actually opened with the Chicago Bulls yesterday when we was actually doing the show. They were 12.5-point favorites. The line is up to 13.5 now, 13 on some books. Total went up from 217 up to 219.5. So a couple things. We just mentioned injury report-wise. Jrue Holiday still listed as questionable. Derek White was dealing with an illness. I think he does come back, and he's listed as probable to play in this game. Porzingis is still out. For Chicago, Caruso looks like he's going to play, but Zach LaVine, he had a really strong game last game. I wouldn't imagine that he wouldn't play in this spot. I mean, he's showcasing his talents for another team right now. The Bulls are showcasing his talents for another team right now, so they could use him as trade bait. So I would think that Zach LaVine plays in this game. Honestly, I don't think it really matters. I know that, looking at this game and evaluating it, for some odd reason, the Celtics continue to not cover the spread against this Chicago Bulls team. And Boston does have Philly on deck. I went in and looked at the numbers to see how the Celtics have played over the last two, from last season to this season, when they have Philly on deck. Is it a look ahead spot? Is it not? There's something like 3-3 in that spot. So to me, that makes me think that they could potentially be looking ahead, but not 100% sure. Not a good spot for the Bulls either way. Not the greatest spot for the Celtics because of the look ahead spot. The Bulls, this is the fourth straight road game. They have 4 straight losses, 4 straight non-covers as well. The way I decided to play this game was Boston in the first half. I took their team total over 57.5. Straight bet, of course, minus 115 on DraftKings. Let me see what I can find the number at right now for you guys who are interested in betting it. First half team total. And I'll tell you guys why in a second. So 57.5 is still available. Minus 118 right now. So the odds, minus 114 if you guys have Bet Rivers. They always have the softest lines. 58.5 on FanDuel. So this number is trickling up just a tad bit. But I still think it's doable, right? A couple things I looked at. We know Boston is an elite first half team. 12-4-1 against the number in the first half, which is the third best in the league. Chicago on the opposite side, just 5-12 against the spread in the first half. Last 5, Boston has been 4-1 against the number in the first half. Chicago 0-5. They've not covered the first half spread in the last 5 games. Last 5 games for Boston, they're league best 10.4 in the first half. So Boston likes to get out to these really big leads, of course, and then they typically let up off the gas just a tad bit in the second half. So they do, like I said, they're winning by an average of 10 points in the first half over the last 5 games. On the opposite side, Chicago ranks 29th, which is second worst at a minus 11. So you got 2 teams with about a 21-point differential there in the first half over the last 5 games. Boston is allowing 52 points in the first half. Chicago is allowing 58. So if you tell me that the Boston Celtics offense team total is 57.5, so I need them to score 58 against a team that is already giving up 58, I think I'm going to go ahead and take my chances there. Chicago also ranks 28th defensively over the last 5 games in the first half specifically. So I chose to play Boston in the first half. I don't know if they get to their full game team total, but I did have an interesting trend towards the full over in this game. The total did come up, and if you're taking the full game over, then of course you're needing the Chicago Bulls to be able to score points in this game. And their team total is just like 101.5. So not a spot that I'm interested in whatsoever, honestly. So I didn't play the full game over, but it makes sense from the standpoint that Boston could potentially push this over by themselves. Maybe you just look at a Boston team total to go over in the first half. They're not on the first leg of a back-to-back. They don't play against the Philadelphia 76ers until Friday. So those are my thoughts. I think Tatum rebounds and assists have been cashing. That's a play that I'm going to be on for Friday. Hint, just so you guys know, when they do play against the Philadelphia 76ers, it's a number that's been cashing. I did a write-up for that earlier today. That's going to be on OzGym when that article is released. So that's the way I chose to play the game. Boston first half, team total over 57.5. Let me go to the chat. Oh, my mic now? Always something, man. It's always something. Let me see real quick. People said my mic not working. Let me know if you guys can hear me at all. So I'm connected to my AirPods. I'm connected to my my HyperX Quadcast. Let me know if you guys can hear me at all. Let me go through the comments. What's up to my guy Prolific being here? Jay Clip says that Clippers loss was disgusting last night. They should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah, I can't figure this Clipper team out, man. Really can't figure them out at all. Big Dog said, and I can't believe the Pelicans. I couldn't believe either one of them either. It was a very frustrating night last night. Very, very frustrating. Tough losses on that 2-leg money line parlay. And if that was, day 5, day 7, I'd probably cry, honestly. Like that would have been a heartbreaker. But you live and you live to fight another day, and sometimes you're just gonna lose some. So if you guys, put the $10 on it, then hopefully $10 is not too much of your bankroll, and we'll get it back. We'll definitely get it back. Young Harlow says, "What's the word, bro?" What's up to my guy Sid in the chat? Doug and D says, "Chris, cash salute, like and subscribe." Yeah, it would help me if you guys subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys would like the video, always helpful. Stead says Monday is cheats in all sports. I have to keep reminding myself and chill. That's smart, Sid. Sometimes you just stay off on Mondays. Yeah, not sure what the buzzing noise is that you guys hear over on YouTube. Let's see. Big Dog says I lost back-to-back fading the Jazz. Yeah, I'm done with fading the Jazz unless they're on the road. All right, let's see. Doug and D says Porzingis is out. That is correct. Says there's so many teams need Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine comes with a humongous contract. I don't think a lot of teams are wanting to take on that contract. Talk Sports for JT says he's like Siakam 20.5 and Bridges under 23.5. We'll get to that game in a second. Yes, Chase, I still do like it. I think the Celtics scored 60 points in the first half today. The problem, I think, just based on the Bulls aren't playing at a really fast pace, but they've been giving up 60 points in the first half to, some of the lesser of the teams. And I do think that if Drew Holiday gets ruled in, of course, that leads to more turnovers, easy buckets, more threes. They get Derek White back in this game as well. So, yeah, I do like it at 58.5 still, Chase, that Celtics team total over. Appreciate you, Swiss, for the $5 dono. Always appreciate the tips, man. Hopefully we can kind of keep it going today. Yeah, I do like it, Johnny. Like I said, I still like it at 58.5. I do. Dream says it's just making some kind of weird noise. I can hear you on the mic, just popping on YouTube. It's doing all right. Let me disconnect the mic. I'll do that. James says it's money to make. We're gonna thug it out. I appreciate that, man. I'm not sure what's going on with my mic. I had a $200 mic, bro. That shouldn't be giving me any problems. Will says, "What up, though, Chris? It's good, bro. We didn't know Clippers were playing against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar last night. Yeah, he turned back the hands of time last night, man. DeAndre Jordan ain't had a game like that probably since he was in college." David says, "Chris, I know you stay away usually, but do you mind doing a risk-free same-game parlay with FanDuel offers?" Yeah, I actually got one that I like, David. The only time I'll do a same-game parlay, and most of the time it's like no more than like 2 or 3 legs, and it's typically personal plays, is when I like a bunch of props in the same game, usually with a high total as well. So we'll talk about that. Kalon says you got a lawnmower going, bro. No, I actually don't. I'm sitting in a quiet room by myself, window shut, nothing. Nobody's even at the crib. I'm here by myself right now. And then Trunk says, "What's the 10K picks looking like today? Huge L yesterday." Yeah, it was a huge L yesterday. All right, so let me do this real quick before we move on to the next game. I am going to disconnect my mic. Let's see if that helps. All right, so testing. Let me know if you guys are watching on YouTube. Let me know if the mic sounds different. I just turned my speaker off, and now I got my AirPods on both as my mic and my speaker. Let me know if you guys can hear me a little bit better now. Let me know if that popping noise is gone, and then we'll continue. Yeah, somebody just let me know on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think so though. It shouldn't be that though. Bolcar. All right, Buffalo says it's much better now. Okay, so we're gonna ride with that. All right, let's keep going. We got a lot of games to get into, and I'm not gonna get stuck on just this one. All right, so Raptors in the Nets game. This is one that I'm going to be super brief on. I don't have a play in this game. I do think that, to me, it feels like the Nets are the better team right now. Not really wanting to fade them. They've been really, really strong against the spread, of course. The Raptors are a Jekyll and Hyde team. I don't know when to back them. I don't know when to fade them. I tried to fade them on Sunday against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first half. They came out looked like world beaters in the first half. Played some of the best defense that you could see. Then in the second half, they melt. They lose the third quarter 32-20, and then the Cavaliers end up winning the game by 3 points. So I can't figure this Raptors team out. They're a team that I really like. They got a lot of good defensive talent, but they just can't seem to put it together all the time. So I do lean Nets. I think that they can still get the job done, even though they'll be without Cam Thomas. They'll be without Ben Simmons. Like I said, at home, I want to say they're undefeated against the spread. And you're just asking them to win the game by one. Because this spread actually did come down. I think it's 1.5 at most places. There are some twos out there, but I want to say this is 1.5 at most places. So that's the way I would play this one. I didn't really look at any props at all. Of course, if you're the Nets, you just shoot a bunch of threes. If you're the Raptors, you got to be able to guard the 3-point line. So that was something that I think I looked at, but didn't look into heavily. Like if the Raptors were a bad 3-point shooting defense, then I would probably just jump on the Nets, because that's what the Nets going to do. They hit a franchise record, I want to say like 25, 26 threes a couple games ago. Not a couple games ago, it was last game. Lonnie Walker hit 6. It was a bunch of guys who just went off from the 3-point line. So yeah, that's, if I'm looking at props, that's the way I play it. Of course, Scotty Barnes has been somebody that's been, trending in the right direction, looking at his rebounds plus assists. But yeah, I would look at a guard, because Nicholas Claxton is going to be down there. I know Nicholas Claxton steals plus blocks been cashing. So those are the ways that I would kind of look at this game. But like I said, no official play for me. Not going to waste you guys' time on this game too much at all. Let's go back to the comments, and then we'll go to the Knicks and the Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets. Let's see. Kalan says the sound is better. Great. Okay, I'm glad it's gone. Appreciate you guys for rocking with me through that, man. Just let me know. I can always take my mic and turn it off. I have no idea what I need to do, but I'm definitely not a tech guy, but I probably just need to figure that out. Appreciate you, Coop. Daniel says, remind me of flip phones. My computer would always glitch 2 seconds before when I would get a text message. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Real quick. One more comment, I think. Seymour Cash says he likes Bridges' points and rebounds tonight. Okay. And Troy says, what's up, Chris? What's up, Troy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Drop the looks down low, Troy. I know you got some looks, some positive CLB plays. Let me know what you're on. Drop it in the comments so people can cash with you. All right, so next game up, we got the Charlotte Hornets, who will be in New York today. They will be shorthanded, of course, because LaMelo Ball is ruled out in this game. They did get Terry Rozier back in that game on Sunday and gave me a scare, because I was on Orlando minus the 3.5 in that game. And it barely cashed, because Charlotte was able to score points in that game. Now they come into this game that I think the line opened at like 11, I want to say. Opened at 11. It's at 11.5 right now. It did touch 12 earlier, which is what you guys see here on the YouTube channel. And the total in this one actually dropped down from 223 down to 221. So the trend is, and this goes for this game, the Charlotte Hornets versus the New York Knicks game. It also goes for the Boston Celtics and the Chicago Bulls game. It's that when two teams, so when you're a home favorite playing in a conference game, which the Knicks are and the Celtics are, you're not on the second leg of a back-to-back, so you have at least 1 day of rest. Your opponent is not on the second leg of a back-to-back, and the spread indicates that you're supposed to win the game by 12 points. Since the 2018 season, those games are 93, 69, and 2 to the over. That's about 58% to the over if you just take the over in these games. I know that the total did go down, and I do think that the Knicks can come out here and actually lock this team up as well. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't necessarily, play the Charlotte Hornets team total under. To me, this kind of feels like a game where the Knicks could come out here, score as many points as they want. They probably got a bad taste in their mouth off the loss against the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker hitting that game winner the other day. So I don't necessarily want to, lay such a big number with the Knicks, but I do feel like this is the number that the Knicks can cover. I've been talking about this for a while now, and I think it's something to kind of pay attention to. Head to head, the Knicks have won both games so far by a combined 36 points. So I know we typically think of like 11 and a half or 12 is a big number, but if they've beaten this team by 36 points in 2 games, that's an 18-point margin per game, and they covered both spreads. Off a loss this season, the Knicks are 5-1 straight up and against the spread. And I did do some deep digging on this game. LaMelo, without him, Charlotte, I looked into their offensive and defensive numbers. They have an offensive rating that takes like a 3-point hit. Their net rating actually drops about 8 points as well. So they should struggle to score, but it is a funky lineup because it's going to be the first game of the season where they have Bridges in, LaMelo out, Rozier back in. Also worth noting that Charlotte is actually a minus 8.4 without Bridges on the floor since he's returned. He's been the guy. The problem with and I figured this out with the Charlotte Hornets. The problem with the Charlotte Hornets is that they play at a really fast pace, but they score a lot of points inside the paint. They're one of the worst. They're bottom 5 in 3-point shooting. The Knicks don't give up points in the paint, and I think that's why it's so hard for Charlotte to be able to score. Because you're not going down there scoring a bunch of paints against Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. So I think the Knicks gonna be able to score because Charlotte defense, no matter if they scoring or not, they're just not playing a lot of defense. So the way I chose to play this game was I looked at and I've been religiously talking about this. The Knicks, when they play against bad defenses, I tweeted it out. It's on my timeline right now. But when the Knicks have faced a team with a bottom 10 defense, those teams include the Charlotte Hornets twice, the Washington Wizards, I want to say twice, the San Antonio Spurs. They're actually 6-0 straight up. They're averaging 63 points in the first half in that spot per game. And in the first 2 meetings so far this season, they've averaged 62 points in the first half as well. So I chose to play the Knicks team total over in this spot as well. I think it's a spot where they could potentially get the first quarter, first half, and full game over. I just didn't get there with all three. I think, even if the first quarter misses by a point or two, I think we still get there with the first half. I do expect the Knicks to get hot in this game. You just go through and look. It's what I did when I was assessing this team. Just went through and look at the spot for the New York Knicks, and it's really just that simple. I looked at just real quick. I'll do this real quick. Looking at the Knicks' last couple games, the Knicks just played against the Shark. They just played against the Phoenix Suns. They scored 113 points. Against the Miami Heat, they scored 100. Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, they scored 100. But against Charlotte, 122. Wizards, 120. Atlanta Hawks, 116. Against Boston, only 98 because Boston's the top 10 defense. Charlotte again, 129. San Antonio, 126. And the Clippers, 111. So I say all that to say Knicks first half should get there. Minus 105 on DraftKings when I played it earlier at 57.5 for the Knicks team total over is my play of the game for this one. Let's go back to YouTube real quick. Bridges from Charlotte. I was talking about Bridges from. Oh, you like Bridges from Charlotte? Okay, I thought you meant Mikal Bridges, not Miles Bridges. What's up, Tariq? Appreciate you being here, hopping in. Daniel says he took Trey Young double. We're gonna get to that game because I actually like Trey tonight a lot as well. Shout out to my guy Justin for pulling up on me, always in the chat, showing supporting the channel. Positive vibes. Appreciate him being here. Same with S. Dot. Appreciate you as well, S. Dot. He says, let's go Heat. No, he probably rocking with his Miami Heat in some form of shape today. ASAP Aki says he's like RJ Barrett and Brandon Miller. 15 plus looks good if it stays close. I don't know if it's going to stay close, but we'll see. Somebody going to have massive usage tonight without LaMelo being there. LaMelo was averaging like 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists over the last like 8 or 9 games. And when that minutes limit came off and he finally started to get his shot to flow. So without him being there, it's a lot of opportunity for somebody for sure. What's up to my guy AOD? He said, man, my Pistons suck. Yeah, the Pistons are god-awful right now. That's why I couldn't take them yesterday. It seemed like a spot for them, but even losing to the Wizards, they got smoked by the Wizards last night. AOD also says, smash the like button for me. And I appreciate it if you guys do as you join. Buffalo says, my play is correlated to that Knicks defense. I took Mark Williams under 7.5 points at plus 265. Okay. Thinking that Mitchell Robinson going to have a good day today. Okay, I can see it. Joshua Beach Calvin says he likes Brandon Miller 3+ threes at plus 230. Okay. And what's up to my guy Marv in the chat? Jay Frieza says, I think I pronounced that right. Frieza says Terry scored 20 points, scored 20 both games with LaMelo without LaMelo against the Knicks last season. Yeah, if somebody gonna beat the Knicks, it's typically a guard, right? You're not gonna score against them in the paint. That's pretty evident. Last game it was Eric Gordon, even though he 112, he turned back the hands of time and had his way. And of course, it was Devin Booker as well in that game. So wouldn't really surprise me if it's a big Terry Rozier game tonight at all. All right, let's keep moving. Next game up, we got the Atlanta Hawks and we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. This game will be played in Cleveland. So looking at this game, I actually when I was going through my notes last night, I could actually make a case for the Atlanta, for the Cleveland Cavaliers in this spot. It's not a good travel spot for the Atlanta Hawks in my estimation. And I know it's playoff in-season tournament implications for these games, but I don't think Atlanta can really make a lot of noise in this one. So in my notes, I wrote down third straight road game for Atlanta. It's also a third game in 4 nights. They're 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. The Cavs are in their 4th straight home game, which is typically when you want to buy on a team. So I do lean Cavs minus the 4, but didn't get there with that. To me, the Cavs got to show me just a tad bit more. They haven't been really winning by margin. But one thing we know for sure is that the Hawks can't stop anybody. The Hawks defense is absolutely atrocious. So big games coming for, the Cleveland Cavaliers in this spot. It feels like they should be a spot where their offense kind of steps up. We know the Hawks play with top 5 pace in the league. So no play on the total. The total did go up. I want to say it opened at 233, 234. It's up to 237. I don't really agree with the movement there just because, oddly enough, as it is to say, the Hawks have actually performed best when they're road dogs this season. They went to New Orleans. They got an upset win there. And I can't remember the other spots, but they've won as a dog a couple times this season as a road dog this season. I don't know why. For whatever reason, they struggle at home. Prop wise, and this is the game that I'll probably put the same game parlay together for. I think it's a big Trae Young game. When I look at the Cavs, they to me they're almost mirrors of at least their defensive identity of we're not going to give up a lot of points in the paint. And if you're going to score against this, it's going to be against our guards, right? It's going to be against Evan Mobley. It's going to be against Darius Garland. It's going to be against Donovan Mitchell because Jared Allen and Evan Mobley not giving up a lot of points in the paint. So if I'm playing this game, I don't know if anybody had a chance to look, but Trae Young has been absolutely cooking. His threes were at 2.5 this morning. I didn't play it. I didn't play anything yet, but I'm going to put it together. I just kind of want to take my time with the props. Trae Young threes this morning was at 2.5, minus 145 on DK. So it's super juice. I would just take him. I would take him at 2.5. I would also take him at 4 as well. So Trae's going over this number 4 straight games and 6 of his last 8. Extremely high volume. If you just go in and look at his box score, it's not going to give you guys all those numbers. But the 3 is also how you beat the Cavs. And with Mobley and Allen in the paint, like I said, versus Cleveland, you kind of want to attack them from the perimeter. Trae's also over in 4 of his last 6. So he's hit at least 3 threes in 4 of his last 6 games against the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. So he's trending right now this season in that direction. He's hot right now, and we know he started the season off ice cold. And for the trend where he plays against the Cleveland Cavaliers, he actually has been killing that line as well. His points prop is another way you could play it. That was at minus 125 when I checked earlier on ESPN Bet. He has a great track record against the Cavs. He scored at least 25 points in 5 of his last 6 games. Also, this season, he's gone over in 4 straight games as well. So looking at Trae Young in some form, some way, not sure if I'm going to get there with his threes, if I'm going to get there with his points. And then I think 2 other, one sneaky, one not so sneaky props in this game. Both of these teams don't do the greatest at defending the 3. So looking at Strus threes at 2.5, minus 102 on FanDuel is what the line was earlier. Strus is actually going over in 3 of his last 5 games and 4 of his last 6. With 2 of those games that he didn't cash, he actually finished on the hook with 2 threes. He's also taken 30 threes in the past 4 games. And he even got 9 attempts up with Donovan Mitchell back in the lineup in their last game. So to me, that lets me know that they're, looking for him. They're trying to feed him. So I like Strus to go over his threes. You look at Atlanta defense against the 3, they're allowing teams to make 14.6, almost 15 threes per game from the 3-point line over the last 5, which is actually the 3rd most. So bottom 3 defense and their bottom 3 in opponent 3-point percentage as well. So somebody for, this Cleveland Cavaliers team, I think is going to get hot. We know Atlanta hasn't been playing a lot of defense. So I do like Strus a lot. He'll be in that same game parlay. Just kind of got to figure out how I want to play him with Trey. And on the opposite side, Jalen Johnson just got hurt. He's going to be out, I think, in like 2 weeks. And the minutes are going to go to Sadiq Bey. So I think, I looked at Sadiq earlier. I want to say his line was 1.5. It was juiced like minus 130 early this morning. I think, potential lotto, Strus, 4 threes. Looking at Sadiq Bey, 3 threes or 4 threes for him. I think that has a lot of, and then taking Trey, right? Maybe you just boost Trey up to 30. Neither one of these teams on the second leg of a back-to-back. And like I said, Trey has a pretty good track record against them. So maybe that'll be the same game parlay. I got to figure out how I want to play it, but I am going to end up making the same game parlay with those 3 players. Trey Young, it'll be Strus 3s for me, and it'll be Mitchell Robinson. It'll be Sadiq Bey 3s as well. So that's how I'm choosing to play this game. I didn't play anything official yet. Back to the comment section real quick. All right. Randall points over 24. I would only play Randall over today, Johnny. The reason why Randall actually had a good game against a good defense, but Randall has really struggled against really good defenses. He has not struggled, however, against poor defenses. So it's a correlation between the Knicks being able to score more points and Julius Randle being able to score more points. And that typically tends to happen. He owns this team. The Charlotte Hornets are giving up points in the paint left and right. I mean, outside of Mark Williams, they don't really have another big. Nick Richards is out right now. He's hurt. So, excuse me. So I would only play Julius Randle over. I don't have a ticket in my pocket with Julius Randle on it, though. Playing Julius Randle points over is a tad bit scary for me, but that's the only way I would be able to play him today. Jamal says thoughts on Mobley over 15 points and Capella over 9 boards. I think this is a game where you do have to play Capella. The problem with Capella for me is that his minutes have been so limited, man. Like, I think you got to play him a little bit more in this spot just because, the Cleveland Cavaliers have so many bigs. You can't put Onyeka Okongwu out there and, just have him out there by himself. You're going to have to use, Clint Capella a tad bit more. And we know he's an excellent rebounder when he's actually in the game. Like I said, his minutes has just been so limited. Clint Capella's been playing he's been starting, but he's been playing like backup center minutes. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, I'm a tad bit worried, but he should get more minutes in this spot. Amar says Hawks game is a great same game parlay, and that's what I said too. Amar, I just got to figure out what I want to take. Buffalo says he took Young, Mitchell, Garland, all 25 points a piece at plus 500. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Doug and D likes Trey Young double-double tonight at minus 120. JS says you like Trey points over 27.5 at plus 100. Yeah, if I'm taking 26.5, I'm probably taking 27.5 at plus 100 as well. To be honest, I'm probably sprinkling on the 30 as well if I'm taking Trey Young straight, just because he's kind of like in his bag right now. But every time I take Trey, it'll be a good DeJounte Murray night. So DeJounte probably end up with 30. That's just the way it goes for me. I don't really bet on Trey Young too much. Great White says Hawks won outright as dogs versus the Bucks and the Pelicans so far. That's who it was, Great White. I forgot how. I don't know how I forgot that. We were actually on the Bucks. That was two or three Sundays ago, right before the Bucks had to play against the Heat. We took the Atlanta Hawks plus 6.5 in that spot. I remember that game. Daniel says Capella double as well. Center's been kind of eating versus the Cavs lately. Eventually, it's going to regress to the mean, Daniel. I'm not big on playing centers against this Cleveland Cavaliers defense. And like I said, I don't like Capella minutes, so I guess I would lean towards the no. But if you love it, don't let me talk you off at all. Great White says he likes Trey, Brunson, De'Aaron Fox, all 2+3s parlayed at plus 155 for 1 unit. So Trey Young, Jalen Brunson, and De'Aaron Fox, they hit 2 threes apiece, plus 155. Fahrenheit says Julius Randle has a birthday tomorrow. Okay, that's good information to know. Fahrenheit also says like, comment, subscribe, and share the video, and that would be helpful if you guys would do so. Shout out to everyone who does that on a daily basis. I'm more than grateful for you guys. Troy says Mobley over 15.5 points on FanDuel is looking good, 56% rate. Okay, I could see that. I could definitely see him having a big game. He's been a little more assertive this year, and that's shout out to Coach JB Bickerstaff, because that was kind of a knock on Evan Mobley coming into the league, is that he was all defensive and wasn't doing enough on the offensive end, looking for a shot. I know I played him one time this year against the Knicks. He looked like a stripper in church. He did not want to be there. He wouldn't shoot the ball. Every time he caught it, he just looking to pass, not even looking at the rim. Those are the players that I say they can never achieve, never earn 1 cent of my coin. I don't care if I got a 5-cent free bet. I can't place a bet on you if you don't look at the rim, multiple times if I'm taking your points or your points plus rebounds. Joe says that DeJounte Murray night over Trey line, Chris. He said, I felt that I had the same luck betting on Trey. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, man. I'm like I said, not anything official, man. I'm just kind of leaning Trey just because he's hot right now, and I think he can keep it going in this spot. All right, let's keep going. We got the Bucks and the Heat game up next, and I'll tell you guys, as you guys probably know already, I'm not big on betting on or against the Heat. The Heat are also a Jekyll and Hyde team, especially when somebody gets ruled out. That's typically when they play their best brand of basketball. Coming off 2 straight losses, I think this is the first game back home for them after a 5-game road trip. They had a couple days to get some rest. But for the Bucks, this is playoff revenge. Last time these two teams played in the playoffs, we remember Jimmy Butler, putting Drew Holiday in the blender, pretty much boxing them out, getting position like a wide receiver on a cornerback, grabbing the ball, getting a layup, game 5, series over, kiss the babies goodbye. Giannis sitting at the podium saying, this season is not a failure, right? So if you remember that, then you probably think that Giannis probably comes out here and does something big in this game. With that said, the letdown factor, right? This line went from the 2.5, opened at 3 in favor of the Bucks. It went down to 2.5. And even with Jimmy Butler out, who's a great impactful player for the Miami Heat, we know I looked at the rating, and I think their offensive rating drops like 11 points from like 109 to 108 without Jimmy Butler in the lineup. But the spread only moved at 1.5 without Jimmy Butler being there. To me, that's a little bit fishy. The Bucks have been playing a little bit better lately. They've slowly but surely crept into the top 10 in defense, and they barely there. They are the 10th best defense, not top 5 or anything, but they have kind of locked in on the defensive end. Coming off a day ago, they did catch the Portland Trailblazers, kind of caught them slipping. Portland Trailblazers low-key done won two straight games covering the spread and kept both of those opponents under their team total as well. But looking at this Bucks team, I just think playoff revenge is something that I'm not wanting to bet against. I can't take the Heat in this spot. The Bucks should win the game, but I'm not betting against Spoelstra. I'm not betting against this Heat team because every time I do, kind of reminds me a lot of that Jazz spot yesterday. The Jazz at home dog, just kind of stay off of them because they'll find a way. They'll grind it out. They'll figure it out. And that's the same way I kind of feel with the Heat. And at the end of the day, you still got, you still got that backcourt of Damian Lillard and what's the other kid name? I can't think of his name. The 3-point shooter, who really can't guard anybody is my point. So I'm not really official on anything in this game. I do think, however, though, if it was something that I was gonna play, and this was actually on my short list, I wrote down last night, Bam points, rebounds, and assists if Jimmy Butler sits. I didn't even check the number. I don't know what the number is, but I do think Bam is the one. Bam can have a really big game and potential triple-double in this type game if he puts his mind to it and wants to come out there and compete at a very high level. Brook Lopez can do nothing with him. I don't think that they're going to put Giannis on him at all. And Bobby Portis is not a defender. So those are my thoughts on Bam. And if I had to play anything in the game, I'd probably be looking at Bam, probably his assists plus rebounds, his PRA. One of those ways I would be finding a way to play Bam in this spot tonight. Back to the comment section. Then we got a couple more games and we'll get up out of here. Or I'll kick it to the listeners. I got to hurry up too. Young Harlow says, we doing it. We going for the 10K challenge tonight, bro? Yeah, we'll put something together at the end of the show. We'll do that for people who stick around. Snag, my guy Snag. What up, Snag? Snag says Mobley over 1.5 turnovers at -145, hitting at an 82.7% rate so far. Appreciate you for sharing that, Snag. That's a hell of a trend. I don't know if Atlanta defense is good enough to force the turnovers, but 87.2% is something that I'd be willing to put my money on. Johnny says, is Garland points and assists over? Yeah, that's the only way I could play it. Atlanta been really, really struggling. Garland been playing pretty good as well. Garland been turning up. So Could not talk you off the Garland look over his points plus assists. Seymour Cash says Giannis is not a failure. S. Dot weighing in on this Heat versus Bucks game. She says the Bucks can't guard anyone. They barely won in the first week this season. Bam didn't even play in that game. Who neutralizes Giannis? Who neutralizes Giannis? Yeah, I think it just depends on how much the Miami Heat want to compete in this game. I will tell you guys this: the Bucks are 3-0 in the in-season tournament, and if they want to win, they do need to win this game tonight so they can lock up and not have to play in that in like the elimination game of the play-in tournament. The play-in tournament, the actual play-in tournament, the qualifications to make it to the play-in tournament, at least to the semifinals, actually ends on Tuesday. So tonight and Tuesday will be the last night the teams have to. Those will be the last couple games. A lot of teams already eliminated already. I wrote an article for Oddspedia and posted that earlier. If you guys are interested, it goes through all the odds, tell you guys who I'm looking at, yada yada yada. So check that out if you guys get a chance or if you're interested. Great White says Bucks got revenge in the first game this year versus the Heat. This is going to be a tight game tonight for Heat versus Bucks. He likes Jaquez Jr. Yeah, points is a lean right now for him. And AB says, give this live a like. I appreciate that, AB. Definitely hit the like button for me. Burns says Drew Holiday just got ruled in. So we're going to pause for a second. Drew Holiday just got ruled in. I need to know what that team total went to. Hopefully it went up. Hopefully you guys got that in if you wanted it as well. Let's go first half team total over. Appreciate you, Burns, as always, man. Dropping the live news, man. This is stuff that I'm always on top of. I'm always on my phone. I got my iPad out all the time. I can't do it when I'm on the show, of course. I'm gonna miss it because I'm multitasking too much. So the team total still 57.5. Minus 118. Best number I see is on Bet365 at minus 116 right now. Excuse me. I'm sorry, minus 115 on BetMGM. I'm shopping around. I need that penny. I need all of it. So definitely, if you guys want to ride with me there, that team total didn't move a lot at all. Books probably already anticipated Drew Holiday to come back in this one. Let's see. Estai says Heat arrested. Defense is a lock. Big game incoming from Kyle Lowry and Bam. And that's, like I said, I like Bam in this spot too, Estai. So I'm glad we're aligned there. Maybe I'll get there on some Bam prop tonight. I just haven't looked into the lines and seen what they are so far. Also need to go back and check his game logs. I know he kills them, especially with no Jimmy Butler. I can only imagine that his usage goes up even higher as well. He'd also not on the second leg of a back-to-back. I don't think Miami plays again until I can't remember, but it's towards the end of the week. So yeah, I could see the Heat, showing up, trying to show out, even without Jimmy Butler in the home game tonight. Talib, it was definitely Malik Beasley. That's who I was thinking about. That was food on the defensive end. Snag says, as a Heat and heavy Bucks backer after last season, I'm not giving away money to Spo. That's a fact, Snag. I feel the same way. Snag, Spo took some of my money last season as well, trying to fade the Miami Heat. I wasn't even playing the spread. I was playing the team total over for Denver Nuggets, if anybody remember last year in the finals. And they was holding the Denver Nuggets under their team total, and the Nuggets was having to win with their defense as well. So I lost some big money last year betting against Spo in that defense. So I'm not gonna underrate them. I'm right there with you, Snag. Keith says, love Jay Rich, Josh Richardson tonight. Waiting on his alt lines. Okay. Robo says, would you take Strus for 15? I feel like volume will be there. What is his line set at, Robo? I was actually just looking at his threes. I don't even think I looked at what his points prop is. I'm guessing it's like 11.5 maybe. But that seems doable to me. Definitely seems doable to me. Ali says, make sure y'all pay attention to who needs to win tonight and who's already out. It will help you narrow down your bets. I agree with that, Ali. A lot of these teams don't have anything to play for tonight. And the teams that have the biggest playoff implications are the ones that we're about to start talking about. So, yeah, I agree there. Benji says he's heavy on Giannis and heavy on Duncan Robinson tonight. Could not talk you off of either one of those guys. Malik says, I was waiting on that news, taking Celtics first quarter spread, minus 4.5, and your first half look. Man, Malik just fading his Bulls every single day. I love it, Malik. Shadow says, are you afraid of Bucks interior defense to Bam? Absolutely not. Bucks don't have a lot of interior defense. And the thing about Bam is, if you watch that game, if you watch that series against them when they upset the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round last season in the playoffs, it was a lot of Bam catching the ball at the high post, right? Brook Lopez don't want to come out there. Bam can shoot that 15-foot, 17-foot jump shot and knock it down so consistently. So no, that doesn't scare me at all. Bam gets up for games like these as well. He plays better when he is a dog, when they're dogging the game. So there with you guys there. Fred says, "What's good, Chris? What we on tonight? Half unit on whatever you like. Randall points over, maybe. I could see it. I'm not playing it, but I could definitely see it. Definitely can see it." JS says, "Thanks for whoever put out Pacers first quarter spread last night." Bitsy says Strus is sitting at 12.5. Yeah, I like that number for Strus. I like that number for Strus a lot. But like I said, I like his threes a little bit more because I don't even need him to get 13 points if I just take his threes at 2.5. And there's no juice on the number either. So yeah, let's get through the rest of the games though, because I'm gonna talk too long. 215 people liking, and we got 3 more games to get to. So let's see if I can go rapid fire, get through these games so I can get a couple other people up. We will be cutting the show off at about 5 minutes after the hour. So next game up, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder, who will be traveling to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. Very, very interesting game. Both of these teams are red hot right now. Of course, you don't want to fade Minnesota at home, even though they are they're coming off a win. We did back them correctly on Sunday against the Memphis Grizzlies, a bounce back spot for them after losing. They got smoked against Sacramento the game before. Sacramento hit a bunch of threes and really just kind of caught Minnesota slipping, and they were never able to recover throughout the rest of that game. I want to say they hit like 15, 16 threes in the first half. Minnesota is 7-1 straight up and against the spread at home, though. I think they have the highest plus points plus differential in home games as well. OKC on the opposite side, they're extremely hot as well right now, even though the Philadelphia 76ers did kind of cool them off the other day. They are 6-1 straight up and against the spread on the road as well. I think Minnesota is the right side in this game, man. I know that the number came down. It opened at 3.5, and it looks like money's coming in on Minnesota on OKC in this. Well, it actually opened at 4. It's down to 3.5. The total going up from 225.5 to 229, even though these are two of the better defensive teams. I really don't know what to do with this game. I'm definitely not playing the total. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but I'm playing a lot less totals than I did last season. Only way I'm playing the total is if I absolutely love it. A lot of the totals are just leans for me. As we see this Boston spread go from 12.5, 13, 13.5 is 14, is all the way up to 14.5 now. And that total going looks like it's coming down. I think it was 220. Yeah, I think it's coming down. So yeah, I won't waste you guys' time in this one. OKC, Minnesota. I lean Minnesota. I think that their defense. OKC does have playoff revenge. They were eliminated last year in the in-season tournament. Not in-season tournament, in the play-in tournament last year in Minnesota. So maybe that's on their mind. They also got some stuff going on, of course, with Josh Giddey. Not gonna get into that, but yeah, there's a lot going on for this game. I do think, like I said, okay, in Minnesota, the other thing is Minnesota needs to win. They need to win this game by margin as well. I want to say they need to win by 20. I read something that said that they need to win the game by, let me just see if I can find it real quick. They need to win this game by, win margin needs to be by 21. I think is what I read. Let me see real quick. So to advance out of the group play, Minnesota needs a win over OKC tonight, a Golden State win over Sacramento, and it's going to be interesting because the game tips off 2 hours prior to the Golden State and Sacramento game. Wolves won't know what margin they'll need to win by, but it's a minimum of 21 points. So just, taking those things into consideration and how good Minnesota's been playing defense, I do think that they can win the game by 3 points. Another prop look I'm looking at in this game, haven't played this one yet, but probably going to end up getting to the window, is Anthony Edwards over his rebounds and assists. Just because he has an extremely high usage rate, I know he'll probably end up drawing Lou Dort in this spot, but I still think it's a pretty good spot for Anthony Edwards in this spot. He's gone over this number, I want to say, in 3 or 4, maybe 3 in a row. I looked at the numbers but didn't write the trend down earlier. So I like Anthony Edwards, to be able to go down there and crash the boards. He's been rebounding the ball really, really well. and making a lot more plays this year as well. So Anthony Edwards over his rebounds and assists is another look that I'm looking at. But like I said, I haven't played one prop look at all. So those are my thoughts there. Real quick, let me go back to the comments. I'm gonna go through this quick. Let's see. Giannis assists over 4.5. Bet on JC says he likes that. Tariq says Boston team total over 117 after the Drew Holiday news. I don't know about that, Tariq. I think Boston doesn't. So I only like to play team totals over when I know teams have to score. They'll still be without Kristaps Porzingis, who makes it a lot easier. I feel like adding Al Horford in there doesn't help the offense. Al Horford religiously plays bad whenever I bet on Boston or bet on him. He to me, he kind of slows up the offense. He can't shoot the ball as well as he has unless he's playing against Philly, and then he absolutely goes crazy. And they have Philly on deck too. So I wouldn't say Boston team total over. Could they fly over that team total? Yes. I mentioned this earlier, but Chicago's defensive rating is bottom 5 over the last 10 games. So not only are they not scoring the ball, but they're not getting stops either. So Boston could absolutely, crush this team total over. So don't let me talk you off if you love it. It's just not something I just like I said, I think they're a better first half team. So I played the first half team total over instead. Snag says, in case anybody was aware, Boston needs to win by margin to advance in the in-season tournament. I appreciate you for shouting that out, Snag, because I did forget to mention that. I don't know how much they really care though, because they did set out Drew Holiday against Orlando, and Orlando smoked them in that game as well. So I don't know how much they really care about the in-season tournament. We'll see tonight though. We will see tonight. Coop says Ant-Man rebounds and assists over 10.5 is covered in this matchup. I don't know where I got 13.5 from. I meant to say 10.5. In this matchup versus OKC for the last 5 games. Also, sneaky rebounds, ladder potential. He went over 4 of his last 5 games as well with 8, 11 twice, 10 and 10. 8 is plus 260 and 10 is plus 800 on DraftKings. This is the type of information I like right here. Cool. I'm actually about to. Let's see if I can take a picture of this. I need to reference this. I like that. I like that, Coop. I like that a lot. And I was already kind of leaning that way, but I like when we align. Love when we align. Johnny says SGA points and assists over 34.5. Yeah, one thing about Minnesota is it will be without McDaniels tonight. He continues to remain out. I think he's gonna be reevaluated in like a week and a half. So I could see that. Ski on the Wolves. Okay, Ski. My guy Ski said he liked the Wolves in the under tonight. I could definitely see both. I just worry with the Thunder playing so fast, man. I watched the Thunder in Philly. Philly not even a fast-paced team. I watched them score 75 points in the fourth quarter to kill that under the other day. I wasn't on it, but just watching those teams fly up and down the floor. Timberwolves defense, I think, is a tad bit better. But how locked in and motivated will they be? Typically, they are at home, so I can see it, Ski. But if I'm playing one or the other, I think I like the Wolves a little bit more than the under. But cannot talk you off of either way. This game, what is the total? 229. So that's like what? 229 divided by 2 is what? 114. So like 116 to 113 is the projected total. I think it could get there. I think it could get to about 116 to 113. Maybe. I don't know. I got to do some more work on that one, Ski. But I do like the Wolves. Snag says Dort over 0. Just to get 1 turnover. Minus 125 hitting every matchup versus the Wolves. Okay. Bet on JC says he like SGA. SGA averaged 32 points on the road. Yeah, he might have to do a little bit more. And Shadow, that's the player prop that I would be looking at is what Coop said. Rebounds and assists over for Anthony Edwards. Numbers 10.5. Seymour Cash says Wolves fan gonna be wilding on Giddy. Yeah, they probably will. Troy likes Chet under 17.5 points at minus 120 on 365, 57% win rate. Tariq says OKC can play spoiler, dog of the day. They absolutely can. They've been hot. I'm not saying that nothing is ever a lot, but I like to bet on teams that play defense. What do you think about Boston first quarter team total? Absolutely, Tariq. I'm not playing a lot of first quarters this season. But yeah, Boston's been the best first quarter team as far as scoring the ball. Could not talk you off. They just mollywop, the Bulls early in the spot and get the game over with. Yeah, first quarter team total is probably 29.5, I want to say. So I couldn't talk you off. Could not talk you off of that at all. Will Jackson says Chet Holmgren is from Minnesota. Homecoming game for him. Do with that information as you may. I know he's skinny, but I've seen stranger things in the NBA. That is interesting, Will, because I actually had the mindset. We talked. I did a Saturday show when the Minnesota Timberwolves, and this is the last comment I'll make before we get to the last two games. So when OKC was matching up, I did the show five. We started the show about 10 minutes before the game started against Philadelphia, and I said that Chet's going to be matched up with Embiid. So I like his threes because Embiid doesn't like to come out against opposing big men. And similar spot in this one, if Chet is going to be guarded by Rudy Gobert, he's going to pull him away from the rim. That does present a lot of 3-point potential. Chet Holmgren threes was 1.5 at plus 110, and I didn't take it. Talked about it on the show, and he hit 5. So yeah, needless to say, I was sick in that spot. That's really good information, Jackson. And I didn't hear. I haven't heard anybody say they like Chet at all tonight. So Chet tonight at all. So not talk you off. King Bishop says he likes Lou Dort over his 3.5 rebounds. Went over 15 of 18 away games. Snag likes Clay over 1.5 turnovers, hitting 12 of his last 14. Yeah, no L word being mentioned on this show. Even if we acknowledge the L word, Troy, we always acknowledge it for what it is. No such thing as a lie. Yeah, okay. All right. I appreciate you, Will, for shouting out that Chet news. I don't think I knew that. Or if I did know, I don't think I did watch the thing with him and Kevin Garnett over the summer on Showtime, but I think he might have mentioned it. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's get to the last couple games, man. So we got Rockets and we got Mavericks. Actually, my favorite game of the day. It looks like the Houston Rockets are the most public dog of the day. And I think for good reason, man. I think, just looking at the game, I'll read you guys my notes real quickly. So injury-wise, Derek Lively is still listed as questionable as far as I know. If anybody has seen an update on Derek Lively, please let me know. I doubt we get one this early because this game does not start until 8:30. So Lively is still listed as questionable right now. In my notes, what I got written down is that Fred VanVleet on the opposite side, Dylan Brooks, and Tari Eason all were listed as probable. They all did get ruled in as well. So historically, Houston has covered 3 of the last 4 against the Dallas Mavericks. I know the teams have kind of changed, of course, but looking at this Houston team, they continue to cover 9-0-1 against the spread in their last 10. They're also 7-3 straight up. A lot of that is Ime Udoka getting these guys to kind of buy in. And we backed them correctly against the Lakers about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 Sundays ago. We took the Lakers team total under. We took Houston plus, I think it was 5.5 in that spot. The Lakers ended up winning the game by 1. And then I wanted to do the same thing in the Golden State game the next night. Golden State laying 7.5. I stayed off, and Houston was able to cover that spread as well. So as long as Houston is rested, I like them. I like them a lot just because Dallas offense has really struggled, recently. I'm not 100% sure why. We know Luka had the hand injury, the thumb injury, whatever it was. He is going to play in this game. But you look at their offense, they've really been struggling to score. They scored 88 points against the Clippers in their most recent game. They only scored 104 after scoring a lot of points in the first half against the Lakers, and the Lakers made a late surge. And then against the Sacramento Kings, they only scored 111 as well. Houston has an extra day off of rest in this spot. And although they are on the front end of a back-to-back, they do play in Denver tomorrow. I don't like them in that spot, but I think that they can make us some money tonight. So I did play Houston earlier, missed out on the 5.5. When I woke up this morning, it was 5.5. But I got it at 4.5. I think the line is all the way down to 3 right now. So, I don't like it as much because I got a 2-possession game and this is more of a 1-possession game. But I do think that they could win the game outright today. Last 5 game stats tell me that Houston has been a +5 net rating and Dallas has been a -5 net rating. Defensively, Houston ranks number 1 over the last 5 games. Dallas is actually 22nd. Houston has been a better rebounding team over the last 5 games. Both of these teams are bottom half of the league in pace. Houston's number 3 in opponent 3-point percentage, and that's what Dallas likes to do most. They score a lot of their points from the 3-point line, and if they're not able to knock down threes, they typically don't win the game. And that's what we saw against the Clippers. As bad as the Clippers are, they're one of the best 3-point defenses in the league. So when teams can, when a team's defense is your weakness or your strength, then it doesn't really bode well for you. So I think about Houston in this spot. They should be able to, take Dallas off the 3-point line and, make them have to finish at the rim. And that'll work in Houston's favor because then they're not giving up threes for twos. Houston doesn't shoot or make a lot of threes. And that's the same thing I said with Charlotte and New York as well. Charlotte does not shoot the ball well from the three-point line consistently. So when you're playing against the Knicks, it's a recipe for disaster because you're not going to score a lot of points in the paint. And that's why I kind of like the Knicks first half team total over. I actually like the first half spread as well, but just didn't get there. Don't want to double dip in that game. So I do, Boston. I'm sorry, not Boston. Houston being the best in defensive rating, the best in opponent field goal percentage, and number 3 in opponent 3-point percentage, all makes me, and being rested in this spot. That was what kind of talked me on to Houston in this spot. I think that they can keep the game close, if not win it outright. So I played Houston plus 4.5. I also played Dallas team total under. I looked at the Rockets on the road so far this season as dogs. No team has gone over this team total outside of San Antonio, and I want to say that was an overtime game. So those are my thoughts and what I kind of played in this game. I think Houston, probably dictates the pace just a little bit more as they have more so recently, just playing a little bit slower. Dallas also not playing extremely fast in this one as well. You can wait on the Derek Lively news. If Derek Lively is ruled out, I think this line comes down even a little bit more because he has a tremendous impact on them being able to protect the rim. Prop wise, I was looking at Fred VanVleet. My initial lean was Sengun, but didn't get there with him. I was looking at Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet, points plus assists is how I was going to choose to play him, just because the 9.5 assists was that plus money. And he's averaging, very close to that number, but his points are at 16.5, I want to say. And over his last 3 games so far this season, he's over in 3 of his last 5 games this season. Historically, he's gone over 2 times against Dallas. I guess he likes the matchup against Luka for whatever reason, dating back to his Toronto days. So his offense is kind of picked up just a tad bit more. So I do like Fred VanVleet to go over. I just don't want to play it on the first leg of a back-to-back or have too many plays in the same game. So strong lean towards Fred VanVleet. Alfred Sengun, points, rebounds, and assists was my initial look at 36.5, but I don't like that number. I wanted to get it around 34.5. I don't like it. I feel like the books have kind of caught on to Alfred Sengun a lot. So those are my thoughts there. And then the last game on the board for tonight, I'll just go to this and then I'll go back to the comment section. I don't have a lot. I'm going to go ahead and get Stem up real quick. Shout out to Stem. He keep cashing these super long parlays. And I'll get Great White up and Stefan as well. Get Cam up, get Keith up. Hopefully you guys can stay up. I'm going to finish up real quick and then I'll kick it to these guys and we'll get up out of here. So last game of the night is the Warriors and the Kings. I don't have a strong feel for this game. I do think that, looking at the last 5 game stats, it should be a King spot. When the Kings were playing the Warriors earlier this season, I thought it should have been a King spot as well. So for whatever reason, the Warriors, they kind of own the Kings. It goes back to last season. I do think the Kings will be motivated in this spot. The Warriors, from the Warriors side, Draymond does come back in this game. He has a history, of course, with the Sacramento Kings and, stepping on Sabonis last game as well. I don't know. I really want to fade the Warriors. I do want to fade the Warriors. I don't think that this team is necessarily that great. And they're going through a lot of turmoil. So I do lean Kings. Kings also on the first leg of a back-to-back. I think they got the Clippers tomorrow. But the Warriors, they're not, to me, they're not playing really good defense in the moment. Like I'm only, laying points. And in this case, I guess I'm taking points, but I'm only trusting teams. A lot of the teams that I've been backing lately have been top 5, top 10 defensive rated teams in spots that I think they're going to be motivated to play defense in. So the Kings, they should have all the motivation in the world. This is a double revenge spot from this season. They've already lost to the Warriors twice. They are rested, back at home, coming off a pretty good, big time win against the Minnesota Timberwolves, giving them their first home loss. So I do kind of like the spot. I do like the spot for the Kings, but I didn't get there. I didn't play it. Also think you could look at Steph, of course. Steph is the offense. He's the heart and soul of this Golden State Warriors team. So looking at his points, looking at his assists, he's not on the second leg of a back-to-back. And I think they're going to do everything that they can to try to win this game because this game also has, in-season tournament, drama surrounding it. The Kings are undefeated too. I forgot to mention that. They're undefeated in the in-season tournament play. And De'Aaron Fox is averaging, is it 39 points? De'Aaron Fox has only played in 2 in-season tournament games. I want to say he's averaging 39 points a game. Somebody can fact check me on that. but De'Aaron Fox has been absolutely killing it. And if you want to win the in-season tournament MVP, you kind of gotta, be showcasing these in a way like that. I think him and Tyrese Halliburton have the best in-season tournament numbers as far as players. So those are my thoughts. Like I said, I do lean Kings. Probably just play them on the money line. This line it's at 1.5, so the money line is probably like what -130, -125, which is the way I probably play it if I got involved in this game. Steph props as well. So let's get to what I actually play segment. So my plays are at the bottom. All of my plays are at the bottom. I played Houston +4.5. Dallas team total under 116.5. Boston first half team total over 57.5. And the Knicks first half team total over 57.5 as well. Both of those numbers seem kind of mispriced to me. I thought that they would both be a tad bit higher. Also, really, really strong leans towards Trae Young points, and I probably end up getting there, just haven't yet. Trae Young points I really like a lot. Trae Young threes I really like a lot. Max Strus threes I like a lot. Sadiq Bey I think is probably the sneakiest look of any player on the slate today, and it wouldn't surprise me if he hit 4 threes in this spot. And then Bam, points, rebounds, and assists. Don't know what that number is. And in the last game, I'd be looking at Fox in some way, probably just his points. Looking at Fox points in that spot. So those are my looks. I only played 4 plays today, though. Not gonna go too crazy. Trying to keep it going, man. We've been having some really successful days, and I'm just trying to keep it going. So those are my plays. Hit the like button for me if you stayed for the whole entire show. I'm gonna kick it to the guys that are connected and get everybody else up, and then we'll get up out of here. So let's go Cam first, just because I see him, and then we'll go Keith. I'll see if Stem can get connected. Great White, Dream, Stefan, all the usuals, man, the whole crew. Cam, you are up first. Talk to me, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's good? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Talk to me.
What yesterday? OG over 13 and a half plus Pascal, 13 and a half points plus Pascal over 6.5 rebounds plus 200. You can take either of those singles and just -130. Like to play anything over -120, 125.
Okay.
I'm just pretty confident in both those hitting. OG averages around 18 points against the Nets, and Pascal over pull up my notes. I think 6 of the last 7 games. I'll get back to them. I have it pulled up. And then my next play is Kyle Lowry over 10.5 points. Basically, it's just me targeting the Bucks. Interestingly enough, hit 13th on the all-time threes list. So he's been letting it fly from behind the arc, and they're going to leave him open to get to that. I'm pretty confident. He just needs a couple of shots. So I really like that. Lowry. Dream probably convinced me to play to 15, which is plus 275. If you go on bet 365, you can play as high, which is 16 points at plus 365. But definitely play the over 10.5 at -115. And then Claxton double. Sorry, that's my dog. Nick Claxton double plus 175. Also, just love that look against the Raptors. The Spanish have been destroying us left, right, and center. No pun intended. It's just we have no luck against centers, realistically. Yeah, I really love it. Plus 175. I think if he had a couple more games under his belt this year, he'd be close to plus 100 or maybe minus money. So the 3 plays that I'm on again are OG and Pascal. So OG points parlayed with his rebounds. That's just their baselines. Plus 200. And then Claxton plus 175 double, and Kyle Lowry over 10.5 -110. Actually, it's -110. I got it. With a lean to his 15 plus.
Okay. Appreciate you sharing the looks, Cam. Hey, Cam, real quick, what's your take on the game? You think y'all win or you think y'all lose? What's your take on your game?
I'm probably the same as you are when it comes to it.
Okay.
It's extremely difficult to call what this team's going to do in any given night. Like even against the Cavs, even though we dropped the game, we look good. Like if you watch the game, we look like a good team.
Yeah.
And then there's some games we just look bad. So I think with the new coach and everybody just kind of figuring out where they fit in, what their roles are. This is like now Scotty's team, but then you still need Pascal to have like the usage. There's just a lot of uncertainty. So you're seeing it on the court. Like there's good players there. That's the thing. Raptors have good basketball players. But we can't put it all together consistently on a run. So we're going to be that team, I think, all year, and it's going to be very difficult. I'll know the spots where I see them. This is not one. I think in this one, it's probably going to be a close game, I think. But who knows, right? So, yeah, I think it's a stay side, if I'm being fully honest.
Yeah, no. That's all I needed to hear, Cam. You know, if you say it, I'm gonna take your word for it. And you kind of not to stay on this topic too long, but the Raptors, to me, when I watch them play, they are, like I said, they're a Jekyll and Hyde team. And you mentioning them being 50%, Cam, to me just kind of resembles who they are, because it seems like they play a really good game for half of the game, right? It's always like a good first half, and then they fade in the second half, or it's a good second half, and then they stink it up in the first half. Because I was reading something from the beat reporters that said that you guys had a 10-point deficit in the first half for 7 games in a row, but then you come into Cleveland and you gain a 10-point lead, and then you still lose the game. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. And
that's kind of a bigger issue we're seeing with them, is trying to figure out the rotations too, because it's like if Pascal's going, cool, he goes, but then Scotty takes a back seat. They got to figure out both beyond. It's a big issue because we just can't figure that stuff out. But the numbers on Pascal, he wants to play the 6.5. He's hit that his last 4 games against the Nets, so it's a pretty confident play for me. Yeah, man, we'll see how the Raptors go. So 50-50. Like, I honestly just want us to blow it up. So we don't get stuck in the middle. That's where I'm at with this team.
yeah, okay. Now I appreciate the thoughts and all the looks, Cam. Best of luck tonight, brother. All right, let's go. I'm gonna just go in order. I see Stem next, then I see Great White, then I see Dream. Stem, talk to me. What's going on, man? Congratulations on all the cash, man. Let me hold $5.
What's good, Chris? How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Well, definitely a solid day through the team, but Joel got the triple double. So
yes, sir. Good hits last night, Stem.
really, but I want to look at Sadiq Bey that you were talking about.
You about to make me like him a whole lot more, Stem. Talk about him. Oh shit. Okay.
So
Okay.
with Jalen Johnson out, obviously we expect him to be inserted into the starting lineup here. So his last 4 games, 10 rebounds, 2 rebounds, 9 and 8. So if you build out his double-double on MGM or DraftKings, you can get plus 950. Can be found as low as plus 500 on other books like ESPN Bet, for example. But he's going to get a lot of rebound opportunities today. He's going to play a lot more, definitely an elevated role. I mean, I certainly will agree that I like his threes as well. But I'm targeting his rebounds a little bit more, like his base in general as it is. But that double-double spot is what's standing out to me as the value. Not a lot of sneaky plays today, not a lot of diamonds in the rough. I think it is a big stars will be stars day, especially Trae Young, as you were saying. He's shooting threes like crazy, which he finally realized he's good at doing. So like him as well. But that's my main lean for Zach.
Man, Stem, I love the way you look at the game, bro. I absolutely love the way you look at the game. Always trying to find the hidden gems and the value. Just like Dream. I mean, y'all should probably tag up. But anyway, appreciate the look, Stem, and I like when my brain is working like y'all brain, man. I appreciate you, Stem. Oh yeah. Both of y'all are 2 dogs for sure. All right, let's keep going. Let's go Great White. Then we'll hear from Dream. Then we'll hear from Stefan, and we'll get Keith up as well. Great White, talk to me, my brother. I know you Miami Heat play basketball. What are we looking at today?
Yeah, I was leaning towards taking the Heat spread, but Haywood Highsmith apparently is not going to play, so defense. So I'm just gonna watch and monitor, see if I can get a better lifeline. But I'm gonna talk about my favorite play of the day. It's actually gonna be a 2-unit play that I give out to my VIP. It's gonna be Ant over 10.5 rebounds and assists. Love this spot for him, and the reason why is because he's gone over this number in 4 of his last 5 matches versus the Thunder. Within those last 5 matchups, and 3 of those, both Rudy and Cat played last year, October 19th. October 23rd, and then earlier this year from the last season on April 14th. And in those 3 where Ant and Cat played, Ant averaged 15 rebounds and assists in those games in that stretch. Also, Ant gone over this number in 6 consecutive home games this year, averaging 13.3 rebounds and assists in that stretch. Chet Holmgren, he's going to have moments where he pulls either Cat or Rudy away from the paint on pick and roll situations. That's going to give Ant a couple of more rebounding opportunities tonight. OKC, they also rank near the bottom of the league when it comes to allowing assists to shooting guards this year. So that's going to be my one play that I'm giving out.
Absolutely, bro. I'm right there with you, Great White. I'm gonna go official with that one too. I'm gonna take that. I love that line for everything that you said and what I had in my notes as well. And I'm probably gonna take the Timberwolves too. I just haven't yet. Trying to pace myself, man. Wait for all the breaking news to, all the smoke to clear and the dust to settle a little bit. But I like the look, Great White. Best of luck tonight, man. Hope you get some cash for sure. All right, let's go Dream. Then we'll go Stephen. Then we'll go Keith. And we'll get up out of here. Dream, what's going on, my brother? How you doing today, man?
What's the vibes, my guy?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, shout out to my guy Jimmy for sure. Yo, we gonna collab this week, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I got a blood money bet for y'all for round robin. I'm trying to pull up all my information just to make sure I can explain it the best of my ability. But yeah, it's threes and fours. So round robin threes and fours. It is gonna be Cam Johnson, Miles Bridges, and Kevon Looney, each to have 4 assists. And we're going to put that with Duncan Robinson to have 20 points, so plus 6,000. And Moran Robin at threes and fours. So Cam Johnson, he's got 4 assists in his last 3 games. And his potential assists have been up there as well. Miles Bridges, no LaMelo, so I love his assist chances to go up. But he's had 4 assists in 2 of his 5 games back. I think he has a good opportunity to get 4. Kevin Looney. I believe I didn't get a chance to just look it up again, but I'm pretty sure he got 6 assists in both games this year when he played the Kings. I remember him having like 8 or 10 assists last year, a game in the playoffs. But I'll smoke, so don't give me the line. But what really matters is he's got 4 assists in 2 of his last 3 games. And the game that he doesn't have 4 assists, he has 3. So I think it's a good spot for him to get 4 assists. And last but not least, I love Duncan Robinson tonight. No Jimmy. He had 15 in 21 minutes off the bench when they first played, and Tyler Hero had 35 that game. The Bucks give it up to shooting guards more than anybody in the league. So I think it's a really good spot for Duncan Robinson. I think last game was his first game back from injury. So I think, Spo was kind of working him in. But tonight, if he get 30 plus minutes, he should get 20 plus points. So just to run that back one more time, Cam Johnson, Miles Bridges, Kevon Looney, each to have 4 assists. And Duncan Robinson to have 20 points, and Ron Robin had by threes and fours. And one little piece of info I just wanted to add on to the Ant rebounds. I just want to add Giddy. I know, you Public Enemy #1 right now, probably for good reason. But if you look at his game logs last year, it's damn near identical with Ant's. He got double-digit rebounds in 2 games as well. I think Ant got him in 3, but one of them games with Ant that he had him in was with no Cap or no Rudy. So we just gonna strike that game out. So each of them have 2 double-digit rebound games against each other last year. So if you want to do an 8 and 8, it's a plus 950. If you want to do a 10 and 10, it's a plus 6,500. Just want to put that on.
Damn. Okay. And that was Giddy and Ant, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned Ant. His rebound ladder, and as soon as he said it, I just wanted to put that out there as well because I'm on that.
Yeah. Okay. Nah. That's okay. Yeah. That might be the stemmy. That might be the dream stemmy, the stem dreamy. All right. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Let's go. And best of luck tonight, Dream. Let's go. Let's go, Stephen. I know Stephen been waiting for a minute, and then we'll go Keith, and then we'll go Godspeed, and we get off here. And I gotta cut my part down because I talk too much, and I don't get y'all enough time, and then we end up talking to the game. Come on. All right, so let's go. Who I say? Stephen. Then we'll go Keith, and then we'll go Godspeed. What's up, Stephen? Talk to me. Knicks play basketball today.
Next play, so it's time.
Yes, sir. How we doing it?
Always, one, I just want to take that step up to being the competitive lunatic he is because the Knicks need, I want to say, a plus 8 advantage. More or less
like to get into the in-season tournament, which Josh Hart said he cares about, Barrett says he cares about, Thibodeau says he cares about. So they need like a +8 advantage, essentially. They need to beat the Hornets by 8 plus points and score 5 points tonight. So obviously in 2 days. One, they laid an egg in the first half last game against the Suns. First half -6.5, 6.5, excuse me. Motivation to come out strong. Also, Knicks team total of 116.5. They have 129 and 122 against this Hornets team in 2 matchups, and you've outlined like how they beat down teams that play awful on defense. So those are 2 obvious. Love the spot for RJ Barrett. That was my favorite play of the day. I did a video on it at 17.5, jumped up to 18.5. Still love it. He's over 22 in 4 of the last 5 versus the Hornets. The last one versus the Hornets, he had 26 minutes. It was his first game back off the migrant. Shot 5-15. He just has to shoot 45%. He's going to get like 20 plus points. Like, love RJ in this spot tonight. Like, get right spot. Whenever you get one of these teams where there's like no one on the perimeter to really like stop them from the lane, and when he gets to the lane, like isn't going to be there or some big defensive force, like love RJ's points today. I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but I really like Brandon Miller tonight for the Hornets. For one, this is like a carefree, who gives a damn game for the Hornets. Like, they're like LaMelo's out, the season's done. For a while, first of all, the season's done, and they're not making the in-season tournament. All of that is true. The first game at MSG, the dude had like 9 quick points, rolled his ankle, but was cooking. The next time he played the Knicks, he had 29 points. Like, the dude was going crazy. So, like, the fact that it's like 13, I took the 3s ladder. I took the 1.5 at +100, and the 3, I want to say, is like 310 or whatever book you look at it. It's different, but yeah, I can't believe like everyone's on like Miles Bridges or Rozier. I'm like, why would you want to be on Terry Rozier? Like, sure, you can play well, but like Brandon Miller's the future. Not no damn Terry Rozier. Yeah. I love Miles Bridges' assist. I'm gonna keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. The only reason that Bam didn't hit is because a bunch of scrubs missed players. But the dude should have 5. Everyone's hitting their assists. Nurk just hit 4. It's at 2.5 and the line's dropping, but I took the 2.5. My lottos for the day are, because Julius tends to go crazy with his assists too when we play these fast teams that are dumb on defense. So I did Bridges 4 dimes, Miller 2 3s, Randall 6 dimes, Barrett 2 3s, and that's 20-63. And if you want to go crazy, if you just take like the next step on all 4 of those, it gets you 39-267. So yeah, so love that. And, the last thing I'll say, I took this because I'm a homer and I believe in fate. It's the fact that this in-season tournament is in Las Vegas and Tom Thibodeau 100% cares about it. And it's the fact that, like, if you look at who's in the tournament, there's not like a big juggernaut team. Like, maybe the Celtics get there. So I took the Knicks to win the tournament at a quarter unit for +2,000. They won the tournament. They won the Commissioner's Cup in Vegas. Why can't the Knicks win the damn in-season tournament in Vegas? And Julius Randle's in the commercials too. Like, I can see the finals somehow being like Lakers versus Knicks, because the league should rig it so it's Lakers versus Knicks, so we all care and watch about it. That's what they should do. Like, if David Stern was the commissioner, that's what it would be. So I put it through a quarter unit on the Knicks on the tournament at +2,000.
Okay, hey, Stephen, that's I got to do a show on. I'm gonna just do a quick show one day on in-season tournament. Because you like this is the time. Like, a lot of people don't look at those markets. I don't either, like, frequently, but I had to do that article for Ozpedia. So I was looking at those teams, and it's some you can still get some really good odds. You can get really good odds for not, it don't even got to be the Knicks, any of the teams to win the in-season tournament, because a lot of the teams, especially the team like the Kings. The Pacers, like +900. The Kings were +1,300. The Kings haven't even lost a game yet. Like, so yeah, I think all those teams are in contention, especially the younger teams. So I like the looks a lot, Stephen. Hope you catch big tonight, man.
One more really quick, for tomorrow.
Yeah, what you got?
So we've been having some good luck on this little like lack of someone to make turnovers against the Orlando Magic. Like, go pretty good. Bro, tomorrow's like Jordan. So
oh yes.
Over 2.5 +104 on Flip. So
hold on, it's out already. Oh, it's out on Flip. Okay.
The streak of all people, Jordan Poole, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I'm with you. Yeah, Jalen Suggs gonna be in his back pocket like a cheap wallet. Okay, I like it, Stephen. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get there with you and ride with you on that one too. All right, let's keep going. Best of luck tonight, Stephen. Appreciate you sharing the looks, my guy. Absolutely, bro. Let's go, Keith, and then go Godspeed. We got to get up out of here. What's up, Keith?
Hey, Chris, what's going on?
I'm doing pretty good, my brother. How about yourself, man?
Good. This slate, man. Games tonight. For the Heat, Smith as one of our backup guards. We're down Tyler Hero. We're down a lot of people. I think he's going to step up big in the game without Butler. He's already recorded a 28-point game against them in his history versus the Bucks, and I think he's going to be stepping up in the guard spot. He's going to be the one guy who's going to score, and he's coming off a 20-point game. Just waiting on his lines if I get lucky. It's probably going to be set at 12.5. I'm going to take it. I also do think we match up pretty well, but I don't have a side in this game, even though I do think the Bucks could win. But that's the only play for that Heat game, just waiting for the line. But my favorite play for the day is Darren Fox, man. Over 2.5 threes. You can't forget about a month ago, Steph Curry just knocked out the game winner in his face.
That's a fact.
When that win was just so improbable. I don't know how the Warriors did that. That win was so improbable. Now he has to go toe-to-toe with Steph Curry because he's going to come into Sacramento and try to get a win, try to break the win streak for this in-season tournament. This is probably the most I've on one player all season. I took these threes last on 6-5. I did up to 5 on FanDuel, and I did 6 and 7 on that 365. If you don't want to do that, you can just take his threes made leader. I believe it's at plus 650. And the reason why I really like this line is because his rebounds. I think the Warriors figured out how to stop Domas, and I really like that sneaky is his rebounds, especially without Keegan Murray. Even when he broke his finger in the playoffs, I think he still flirted with a triple-double the next following game. Damn, loaded up here, and I loaded up so many other tabs in the same. But if you look at his game log against the Warriors and during the playoffs, man, he was flirting with a triple-double in that next game. I think it was game 5, flirting with a triple-double. And then he shit the bag, unfortunately, in game 7, but he still balled out. But I love his threes. He's shooting lights out this season. Like you said, he's averaging 39 points a game. I think he's going to get it from running up and down the court. That's my favorite play of the day. He's respecting Coin all season. And if anyone wants a crazy long shot, I think he's in the same conversation as John Morant and Julius Randle were in when they were leading their team to the playoffs. Most improved. It's a long shot, I know. But if you look on FanDuel, I just put it in. I just threw $10 because I want to see the hits. It's 12K odds if you put 100 on it, but it's 12K odds. I can't pass that up. He's literally in the same conversation, turning a franchise around, leading them back into the playoffs. I do think Halliburton's up there as well, and Maxey too, but I can't ignore this guy, man. Even for MVP, but I do think that's a long shot. I think that's more of a long shot considering that you have to make an All-NBA team, which I think he got last year. You gotta hit some requirements first to look at kind of get considered. But another play I love is Anthony Edwards. I know people are talking about his rebounds and assists, but I love his threes. And I think it's safe to say that this is an elimination game. So I went back and I looked, and he's played 3 elimination games. And both those games at home, he's hit 4 threes and he's hit 5 threes. Now I know the Thunder play great defense. I'm sorry. I know the Thunder played great defense, and I know the Kings caught the Wolves off guard by shooting threes. Now the Thunder are coming in and they're going to play to their strengths. They're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. I think the defense is going to match up, but I know he's going to draw Lou Dort. But if I know Lou Dort, he's very similar to Desmond Bane. The wingspan isn't really there. You kind of just shoot over him, and I'm kind of just going based off the elimination stats. I think Anthony was supposed for a big game as well. I took his over 2.5 threes, his 4 and his 5. And I actually did a parlay with Anthony Edwards and Fox both did 4 at plus 838. I believe I got it at, and I did both of them to get 5 at plus 861 was both of them to get 4, and then plus 3,800 for both of them to get 5 on FanDuel. Those are probably my 2 favorite spots for the night. I think both of those guys are posed for a big night.
Okay. Hey, you got the analysis, Keith. I could not talk you off of any of that, man. I really like Fox tonight too. I talked about him earlier, when I was breaking that game down. While you was talking, I went back and looked at his threes. He been getting them up. He been shooting 3 for 7, 2 for 7, 2 for 12, 6 for 10, 5 for 11, 3 for 9. And I don't think you got to question the motivation when this is the team that not only knocked you out of the finals, out of the playoffs last year, in the first round, but also the team that you just haven't been able to beat this year. So I'm pretty sure we know him and Steph got a really good relationship because of the shoe deal and all that good stuff. Steph done already hit a game winner in your gym. So I think this is a like when we think about motivation for tonight, I don't think it'll probably be anybody more motivated than De'Aaron Fox in this spot tonight. And the fact that they're 3-0 in the in-season tournament as well, and they probably want to get to 4-0 to be tied with the Lakers. So I would agree with you there, Keith.
Want to throw this in? If you get lucky enough, please bring this is why playoff series last year developed. I'm gonna just read his game log: 38, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 24 points, 5 boards, 9 assists. He broke his finger, 26, 9 and 9. Then went 38, 9 and 5, 24, 7 and 9. He's coming off a game of 7 boards and 12 assists. I can't ignore it. I just can't.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to play that, those are my plays for tonight.
Okay. Hey, best of luck tonight, Keith. I appreciate you sharing the looks, bro. Yeah, absolutely. I want to get there on Fox in some way too, man. Fox, and I'm definitely playing Ant. I want to play Trey. I want to play Sadiq Bey. I want to play a lot of people tonight. I'm not playing all them people, but I just checked FanDuel real quick. They got a nasty boost on SGA, Luka, and Steph to score to combine for 90. First of all, SGA is SGA. I get that, but he's playing the best defensive team in the league. Luka got a hand injury, and he's playing against the slowest paced team in the league. FanDuel think they slick, dog. They think they slick, man. Shout out to everybody playing that boost tonight. Real quick, I gotta get out of here. It's 6:36. What I played is at the bottom. Houston plus 4.5. Dallas team total under 116.5. Boston first half team total over, and the Knicks first half team total over. That number is 57.5 on both books. And then I'll have a couple player props that I'll play as well. I am gonna go. I'll give you guys the Anthony Edwards one that it seems like a lot of people are on. I like it a lot. Give me Ant-Man over his 10.5 rebounds plus assists. I know Great White said he liked it. A couple people like that play a lot as well. I looked at Chet Holmgren's threes. 1.5, like I said the other day, was plus 110 on FanDuel, and it looks like 1.5 today is minus 130. So books have implied odds that Chet Holmgren will be stretching the floor against Rudy Gobert. So maybe a sprinkle on his threes as well. Maybe I'll do a threes parlay or something. Put a 15th of a unit, 20th of a unit on that. But that's what I got, man. Best of luck to everybody. I'm not going to be able to get to all the requests today. I appreciate everybody for sending the requests, everybody for tuning in, tapping in as always. Shout out to Dream, Great White, Canadian Cam, everybody that came up and spoke today. Best of luck to you guys on your bets. We got, I think, 7 or 8 games tomorrow as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start looking into those games tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow to do this thing all over again, man. Best of luck tonight. I'm out.